this could be the moment we've been waiting for, the chance to feel alive. Nothing's gonna stop us, nothing's gonna top this, nothing like we've ever seen. And I raise my hands to the sky, what a feeling, 'cause I feel like dancing high, got a feeling, time to feel it. This is where it all begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Inside the Scene, a project of the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust. Over the course of the next half hour, we encourage you to make yourself a drink from the comfort of your home as we take a dive into the lives and work of some of Pittsburgh's leading local musicians. Now, live from his home in Millville, Pennsylvania, your host, Aaron Rodden.
Welcome to Inside the Scene, a happy hour show featuring some of Pittsburgh's favorite local musicians. My name is Aaron Rodden. I am the programming manager for multiple projects produced by the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust, including the Wednesday Wine Flight series, Craft Beer School, and the live music weekends at the Backstage Bar. This episode is the last episode in our Inside the Scene miniseries, and it is also appearing as part of the Dollar Bank Three Rivers Arts Festival. My musical guest of the week is David Beck of the band String Machine. David is a brilliantly clever songwriter who writes palpable works about the struggles found in the forgotten parts of America. His band, String Machine, started as a solo project that later developed into a 7-person family. Live from his home in Saxonburg, Pennsylvania, here's more from David Beck.
This one's called Your Turn. It's on a new benefit compilation that benefits Roboto Project. Got 10 strikes to my heart and I feel bad. stirring in my head, but I'm torn over and sure so thin it sure turned to swallow me, and I've sworn over and burned so bright it sure turned to follow me. It sure turned to follow me. But I went out this morning hoping to anchor it. Lazarus, like born again, right, finding creases to peel my skin. When a mess of calluses do their part and I can't shake them, it's a fever dream, and it all seems that I'll be buried with it, and the phantom pain stirring in my head. But I'm forked over and churned so thin it sure turned to swallow me, and I've sworn over and churned so bright it sure turned to follow me. It sure turned to follow me.
And we're back. For those joining us now, you just heard from my musical guest of the week, David Beck, of the band String Machine. David, it's great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Aaron, for having me. This is amazing.
So this is a happy hour show, and it wouldn't be right if we didn't have happy hour drinks. So to that end, I would like to welcome to the screen Graham Fondry, the venue manager of the Greer Cabaret Theater and the Backstage Bar. David, you may remember Graham from when you and Dylan Kirsten performed at the Backstage Bar back in January.
Yeah, hey, Graham, how's it going today?
Hey, good to see you again. Everything going well?
Oh, yeah, it's nice to see you as well.
All right, buddy. I can't wait to get to see you in person again. Once this intermission is over. Aaron, how are you doing too, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm very curious to see what you're going to make for us today.
Oh yeah, I have a really fun drink that we have here today. It's called a Moscow Mule. Now, a Moscow Mule consists of 3 ingredients. We have lime, right? We have ginger beer and vodka. Now, just so you know about the where Moscow Mule came from, it's actually a drink that was invented in the early 40s in Connecticut. What we had was a copper cup salesman. You'll notice I have some copper cups right here. A copper cup salesman who couldn't sell his cups. A vodka company salesman who couldn't sell his vodka, and a ginger beer salesman who couldn't sell his ginger beer. And they all came together and were talking about how to make a drink. And they said, hey, let's put these all together and see if it would sell. And it turned out to be a really, really popular drink in the era. And so if you go to a bar and you get a Moscow Mule, it will definitely be served in one of these handy dandy copper mugs that you see here. We have a copper one here. And then, of course, we have some others that are similar. We've had some changes in how they are made. They're called a Moscow Mule because vodka was always associated with Russia. and mule because the ginger beer has a bit of a kick to it. So this is a really simple drink to make and very quick. So we have a mug here full of ice. We're just going to go ahead and squeeze a couple of lime wedges into it. Now, I put 2 there, but you can actually squeeze as much lime as you like, and I go ahead and throw the lime wedge in with it. You want to get that lime juice out as per your level of comfort with lime. We have 1.5 ounces of vodka. You want to kick that up a little bit more? Do more. Hey, I probably put in 3. Let's just say that, okay? And then we have ginger beer. So in this case, we have Gosling's ginger beer. Let me tell you that any ginger beer will work, but not ginger ale. It has to be specifically ginger beer. And you can make your own ginger beer at home very simply using water, freshly grated ginger, raisins, sugar, and yeast. You could use any type of yeast, but bread yeast since you have it around. Leave it overnight on the counter. Put it in the fridge after that. You have ginger beer. So we're going to go ahead and pour that on top. Like I said, this is very, 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 very simple. We're going to give it a little bit of a stir to incorporate. And I have a lime wedge right here that we're going to use for a garnish. Now, it's a nice, beautiful drink. I kind of want to get to it quickly, but you might not want the vodka, and that's okay too. As I say a lot when we do these, that you want some astringency in the drink. So what we're going to do if you want a mocktail, no alcohol, is you're going to use lime zest. In this case, half a teaspoon of lime zest. Mix it into here. After you pour in the ingredients, you're going to get a lot of that lime oil in there, which will give you a little bit of that bite that you want in the drink. Cheers, Pittsburgh.
Cheers, Graham.
Cheers.
You know, I actually did make my own ginger beer, and I left it on the other side of the room. It's a ginger apple beer. It's pretty good.
I'm both proud of you and disappointed in you, all in the same.
I can
all
see it. It's taunting me.
Good. Well, yeah, get it during the next song.
Yeah. Okay, so again, my musical guest of the day is David Beck of the band String Machine. David, last year your band put out an astonishing record called Death of the Neon. I would love to talk about the artwork for the record, the cover of the record, which I actually have right here.
Oh,
so
look at that.
It's right here. Got it on vinyl because I'm a nerd. So this piece, I'm just curious if you could jump into how it fits into the context of the record. Tell me a little bit about the artist.
So, funny story about that album art is that I was one day, we were just starting to write the album and we were just demoing it out, and I was really wanted something to be like some sort of profound imagery to kind of encapsulate all the spiritual themes of it all. And I was browsing Instagram one day and I came across this artist named Gold Mombi, whose name is actually Katie Gold. And I was struck by it, and I screenshot it and sent it to the band and was like, hey, how do you guys feel about me reaching out to this artist and seeing if we could use it? And yeah, I think the reason it struck me is because the themes of the album are a lot about my spiritual journey, coming from indifference, like spiritual indifference and callous, and just finding an opening. And I thought that album art was kind of angelic. It looked like an angel on the front of it, and it also had a peach on it, and flies, all the imagery that kind of you hear in the albums and the lyrics and everything. So yeah, we ran with it, and Katie Gold Mombi is the pseudonym that she goes by. Was really kind of to let us use it for our album art. Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful piece and a beautiful record. So how about we jump into another song?
Okay, great. I'm gonna play a song called "Pit of the Peach." It's on that album, Death of the Neon, and it talks a lot about peaches and the afterlife and everything. nudges you away. Nudges you away. It's not every day you can feel clean with the bruising in your pulp, decomposing from pit of the friend of mine. One day you'll be torn from the vine, where you point your flashlight, I'll point mine. And despite our indifference of where we go after this, I still care where you'll flutter when your heart sputters, gives minerals to the weeds. It's not every day you can be with the bruising in your pulp, decomposing from pit of the
All right. So, Death of the Neon was it actually had received a lot of press outside of the Pittsburgh area, and most notably in Pitchfork magazine. So I'm curious if you could tell me a little bit about the experience of seeing your work show up in a publication as big as Pitchfork.
Incredibly surreal. I mean, when the album was recorded on basically no budget, just in our basements, or our bassist's basement, and the fact that it was able to go that far was kind of something we never really expected to happen, you know. I mean, everything you make, you hope for the best and try to materialize, you know, what comes of it, you
Sure.
know. But that was kind of surreal. I'll never forget the moment we got a text saying, "Hey, you're in Pitchfork now," and it's like,
So
Yeah.
they just reviewed it, and you didn't send it out or anything. It was just someone found it and reviewed it.
well, funny enough, Ian Cohen, the writer who wrote about it, he found us on Twitter, just because we released like a music video and we had some hype rolling for us, and he discovered us like right as we released the album, and then the way he put it is that he couldn't like, since we self-released it at first, he couldn't like get a peg to for Pitchfork to let him write about it, even though he wanted to. And then when we signed to No Hope Records to reissue the album to vinyl, and we're going to sign with them for like the next album too, that's what gave him the peg to be able to write about it.
Awesome.
And funny
Well,
enough,
glad he
we
did.
have like we have a little bit of an inside joke about that too, because when me and Nick, the drummer, were like 14, we used to get so mad at Ian Cohen specifically because he would like write reviews about all of our favorite albums. Like most notably, he wrote about like an MGMT album that
Uh-huh.
we really liked, and he gave it like a 6.3, and we were very angry about that. I'm pretty sure he did the same thing to like Manchester Orchestra. So
Uh-huh.
for years we had this running joke like, "Oh, Ian Cohen," and then it turns out he was very supportive of us like 5 years later, and that was incredible. You know,
That's amazing.
yeah, it was very small world, very very weird. Let me tell
Yeah.
you.
So, so as a band that's currently cutting its teeth in the DIY house show tour circuit, could you give me an example of a show that really couldn't have gone any better, and then another that was just plain weird?
Yeah, so the basement stuff is really hit or miss because you never know what you're walking into. One time we had a great experience in Newark, New Jersey, where we pull up, and we expected it, just to be a normal show, and it ended up being the show that we had the most one of the funnest times at. Just a lot of people packed, really sweaty, a lot of energy. And the weirdest time we would have ever had, we never necessarily had bad times, but one of the weirdest things that we've ever done that I'm still trying to tell people we did this, but we did like a Halloween cover set of High School Musical.
Oh, that's amazing.
And yeah, we like Ian and Laurel, who are actually a real life couple, played Troy and Gabriella. And yeah, we played, and they did like improv scenes in between the songs, and it was great. It was honestly the funnest time I've ever had.
That's
doing
awesome.
that, so
And like, so sort of a similar vein of touring, I'm curious, could you talk about the relationships that you develop with bands that you meet on the road?
Oh yeah. That's honestly the most rewarding thing about this whole thing. About being in a band, being a musician, is running into people who you would have never met if you had not done this. You know what I mean? If you had
Sure.
not gone on tour, had you not like played the show or whatever. And those relationships, where we became very close friends with Man Dancing, who we did a Dream tour with in January, a 10-day tour with them. And those are like, there's people that you are peers with, like, you see them here and there, and you're playing the shows together and whatever, but those are like our actual friends, and we stay
Sure.
very much in contact. And that's probably the most rewarding part of this whole music thing, is the people you meet and the journey you take and everything. So
Yeah. So I think we have time for one more song.
Cool.
Go for it.
I'll play. I'm gonna play a song called "Eight-Legged Dog." We released. It was our lead single for "Death of the Neon," and it has a music video on YouTube and all that. So
Cool.
here we go. It all ages in blue, with breathless flicks of land, pulled from the seams of your pocket, and it forms into a lawn to breathe you in. eight-legged dog is coming along to ruin your brain. So I'm forgiven. I'm sepkin. Thickened his blood to sear it. And now my exoskeleton that bandages my soft margins is too thick to escape. It's too thick to penetrate. And the transmigration spoke won't carry me along. But it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming to carry you along. While the eight-legged dog is coming along to ruin your brain. Thank you.
All right. That was David Beck. David, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you all for having me. This is seriously a great time.
Hey, Graham.
Yeah. David,
How's it going?
great. Good to see you again. David, good to see you again, as I said. And I can't wait to see you at the backstage bar again where we first met.
Yeah, that'd be. Yeah, I'm very excited for those days to be.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
After intermission, as we say, after intermission.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody, great music like this can be heard live at the backstage bar at the Greer Cabaret Theater. This is at Theater Square, downtown Pittsburgh. It's a Pittsburgh Cultural Trust joint. It's a theater that puts on a lot of great productions and a bar that has a lot of great music. So come out every Friday and Saturday once the intermission is over. From 5 to 7:30 p.m., you'll hear great live music, such as Mr. David here and other artists from all around the Pittsburgh region.
Thanks, Graham. And thanks again to David for being on the show. So, for all of you at home wondering how you can continue to support the arts from your kitchen, your laundry room, or the treadmill that you use as a coat rack, we've made it easy. You can support David's music by checking out the String Machine Bandcamp page at stringmachine.bandcamp.com. There you can purchase one or two of the two releases that they have available. My personal favorite is Death of the Neon, but Threads of the Youth Fossil is excellent as well. You can also support the Dollar Bank Three Rivers Arts Festival directly by making a donation at trustarts.org/traf-donate. You can also purchase a festival t-shirt from the festival website. That t-shirt also comes with a membership to the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust. Make sure you take some time also to dig through the festival website at trustarts.org/traf for a variety of other programming options. One of those things that is including is there's even a food page. So we are still doing festival food, even though we're doing this from home. There are a lot of food partners across the greater Pittsburgh area that are participating, and there are even festival deals that are happening. So check that out. And join us later tonight for the Social Justice Disco at 7:30 p.m. right here on the Dollar Bank Digital Main Stage. This has been the fourth and final episode of the Inside the Scene mini-series. Thank you all so much who tuned in today and for the last 3 weeks. Everyone stay safe, love your neighbor, and have a great evening.